Glad to see the new update fix these loading times, though.
Welcome back to Qatar. We had a year off due to a small footballing tournament in 2022, but it's back to Formula One right now. Lusail International was built for 2 wheels, but today we race on 4. It's a fast, flowing track, 3.3 miles, 16 turns, just the one DRS zone, but it is a long straight, and you can expect overtaking. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he will start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid we have Russell, Piastri, Carlos Sainz and Alonso, Behrman, Bortoleto, Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda, Gasly, Stroll, Sonny Hayes and Hamilton, Ocon, Albon, Nico Hülkenberg and Joshua Pearce, Hadjar, Colapinto, Verstappen and Andrea Kimi Antonelli rounds off the grid. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me is Anthony Davidson. Well, it's an excellent sprint yesterday, but we're back to the usual format now. How do they continue what they started?
Absolutely. You know, they're at one with their car. You could see that in the sprint. That's why they were successful there. And you've got to carry that through into this race today. And in a way, we've had a snapshot as well of what this driver's capable of.
Radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, so we're off.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So we're off of P9 after our 10-spot penalty. How many penalties did Max take? He qualified P2. He must have taken 20 places because he's down in basically dead last. Because him and Kimi on the back row sharing penalties. So Max must have taken... Well, he must have taken at least 2 components. So that's interesting. Race strategy wise, it's your bog standard 1 stop. No chances of rain or anything. I think I've got an ad break starting. Yeah, we got an ad break starting in a sec. So we'll wait for that to finish and then we'll start the race. For those who are not in the ad break, we'll just have a cheeky little chat about strategy. Can't say it's sort of I think from what I've seen, it's a bit of a management game with the tyres. Obviously a lot of high radius, high load corners, but I don't think Deg is super high here. I know I didn't get to do any really long runs on any tyre other than the soft because for some reason for practice it gives me 2 sets of softs, even though I've gone for the harder tyre preset. I don't understand it. I hate managing here. Yeah, I'm sure it can be very annoying having to manage the tyres, but we'll sort of have to do that. We'll see what sort of race pace we have while not going all out, how we're sort of comparing to the cars around us and sort of assess from there. I don't know if we have... I think we have at least another set of hards in the bank. So we do have we can... If there's a mid-race safety car, we can swap to some hards early and transition to a 2-stop if there's like around maybe lap 6 or 7. Between laps sort of 6 or 7, maybe like 10, 11, we can stop on the mediums. Off the mediums, we can put a set of hards on, get a free stop, and maybe transition to a 2-stop because I don't know how much longer than 16 laps I would push a set of hard tyres. But then I have no data. I don't know. I didn't get to do a long run on hards or anything, or even mediums, so I don't even know how long my mediums are going to last. Really. I know my tyres were worse off than everyone else in the sprint. And that was 10 laps, and I believe they were around 40%. So we'll probably be pushing these mediums going 13 laps, but See how we go. Here we go. 5 lights. Not damage the wing lap 1, please. Don't want to lose Lonzo's DRS this early. Oh, truck limits. Let's try and stick with Alonso, make sure we're in his DRS.
DRS enabled.
Or we'll just make an overtake. That was a bit half-hearted. Need to commit to the move. All right, we're out of DRS, but Alonso is in ours, so we got to be careful now. We don't lose a heap of time fighting with Fernando. We're falling off the back of Russell. We don't seem to quite have the pace of the leading group right now. So at this point, I think just holding position will be our best bet. Don't want to get too caught up in pushing hard and trying to catch the guys in front. So I'll tear the tyres off this thing. We're actually on pretty equal pace with Russell that lap. Only 300ths down on him. We managed to gap Alonso a little bit. Get into a nice rhythm here.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Okay, Liam, Russell's ahead of you now. They're holding us up now, so let's please try and get past as soon as possible and get on with our race. Push, push.
I don't think Mark's watching the same race. Watching our race. In what world is George Russell holding us up? Brother, I'm 2 seconds off the back of him. And I've taken all of about 1/10 off him in the last 3 laps. I don't think I'm managing enough. I don't know. I feel like I'm driving nice and smooth though. Not pushing too hard. Totally fucked my line up there. Meanwhile, I think George and Charles are battling right now. So we're actually taking chunks of time out of them. They're going side by side like that. Not good. Slowing them both down. So it looks like Russell's gotten past Leclerc. I think his colour signs has gotten past Fernando Alonso behind us too. A little bit of understeer there in the wake. wake of Charles Leclerc. We will be in DRS though. Cool, managed to stay in George's DRS there.
Right, I'm afraid we didn't quite
I was getting
meet our
worried I was
targets there, but don't
gonna
worry about it. Get your head down and
fall
chin up,
outside
and
it.
let's focus on the rest of this race.
Starting to feel the understeer on the right-handers.
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
think that was a fourth. I was supposed to be in fourth gear there. Oh, that was a bigger lift. All right, Russell will be in DRS here, so we could be under threat. We'll just sit on the battery, I think.
Grip is probably dropping due to wear, so don't be too aggressive.
Feels okay, just understeers through the right-handers, obviously, because that left front is screaming right now. How's that where I get the most push? Starting to feel the rear end just starting to step out.
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
Got the first pitters off the mediums.
Okay, Liam. Okay, Russell's behind you now. It is critical for our race that we keep them behind, please. Okay, remember to pit this lap. Okay, don't worry about that target for now. Let's just focus on this pit stop.
Oh, all right, that was a good first stint. I think pace is good. Let's get this pit stop right. Get back up to speed nice and quick. Still got out in front of George. That's good. Didn't get jumped in the pits. I like that. I like that. All right. Let's get this out lap right. Let's not lose position here.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
You can certainly tell this place was designed for motorbikes.
Isaac's in the pits.
That last of the
That's Isaac in the pits.
pitters. It's going to hold the middle of the road. Held George really skinny there. Didn't want to give him any extra room. Right front is cold because it's basically on holiday around here. I think George might attack me here. He's certainly close enough. Haven't quite had the same pace advantage over him that we had on the medium.
Okay, Liam, we've got loads of ERS in reserve, so let's have a big push and use it all up.
Yeah, I went a little wide there. Probably pushing a little hard. Don't want to blow the fronts off this thing too soon.
Okay, really, really good. You hit that target nicely. There's a long way to go in this race, so let's keep it clean.
Yeah, George does have DRS behind. We're so like even pace with Oscar at the moment. We're sort of trading tenths. Same with us and George. We're all sort of very even pace right now. 0.02 between myself and Piastri and 0.11 of a second between me and George that lap. This is a battle of who's going to make the first mistake. So Oscar makes one.
No need to worry
He brings
about
me into his
time position
DRS.
now. Everything's looking good.
I make one. George gets past. George makes one. He falls out of my DRS. This is tough. Oh, bung that up. All right, 10 to go. George has actually got a good run on us this time. We're going to make him go the long way around. Just going to pinch it inside front, try and hold the inside line. George backs out of it. Can't quite hold the pace. And meanwhile, Oscar's sort of pulled back a bit of his lead. Gaps out, back out to about 2 seconds. All the little tenths we've eked out over the last few laps have all been lost by that move from George. All the progress. So we lose 2 tenths. Back to Piastri. He gaps back to 2 seconds. George is going to make another attack. Maybe. No, he decides against it. They're like we're not really vulnerable anywhere else. Managed to pull 3.5 tenths out of Oscar that lap. Or pinched a wheel. Lost a bit of time there. It's not good. Pulled in Oscar again. We were quicker again on that lap. Pretty much only a tenth between Piastri, myself, and Russell that lap. On lap pace. Just a little over a tenth between us. Meanwhile, Lando's just in a world of his own, 10.5 seconds out in front.
Okay, Liam, Piastri ahead. Come on, mate, this is it. Let's try and get past them quickly.
My line's crap through there. Pulled in 3.5 tenths on Oscar that lap. And put 6 on Russell. Russell's out of our DRS. We can focus forward now. We've sort of broken the back of Russell. With 5 laps to go. This turns into a 2-horse race for second and third. Got to get into Oscar's DRS here. Got to stay on him. Now could be our chance. Don't have a lot of battery to use down the straight. Won't make the move this lap. turbulent air, the brakes weren't working as efficiently as I would have liked. I don't know how they get so much better launch than me off there. Yeah, I don't think it was close enough again. Starting the last lap. There's our chance.
What we needed, I'm afraid, but listen, don't worry about it. There's a long way to go, so let's just focus until the end.
Deep on the brakes. He was hesitant on exit, sorry. Managed to get the move done. Burned pretty much all our battery to do it. So I think that corner there is where I was losing all my time in qualifying because I was just garbage on exit. Lando Norris wins yet another Grand Prix. We're going to come home P2. Honestly, wasn't expecting that.
Yes, and that's a
But I will
podium.
take it.
Excellent drive. The whole team have worked especially hard this weekend.
Holy,
And that, my
what a
friends,
race.
fantastic reward.
That was a great little chase.
Thanks, mate.
Just holding off George and then eventually breaking the back of that battle and then being able to focus forward and
Norris takes the win.
work on
They led from
getting
lights
past
out
Oscar
to the flag
Piastri
at the
was...
end, and their race victory
Man.
was never in doubt, was it? Brilliant stuff by them.
That was fun.
The top three have scrapped on the racetrack. They will now line up next to each other, the best of this race. And Lando Norris holds the trophy aloft.
So,
Well, that certainly was an
hell of a
exciting
race.
weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join
the
us
results
for more exciting
of the
Formula One action
Qatar
very soon.
Grand Prix. Lando Norris taking the win in relatively commanding fashion. We end up coming home P2, being able to overhaul Oscar Piastri on that final lap. Then George Russell P4, Charles Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda, Carlos Sainz, Esteban Ocon, who one stopped on softs, did 11 laps on softs, which is a bold strategy to say the least. And Gabriel Bortoleto rounding out the top 10, bringing home some points for Kick Sauber. I